General Don Bolduc wants to be your United States Senator. And Senator Tom Cotton and Senator Rick Scott told me yesterday he's the real deal and he's winning. General, welcome to the Hugh Hewitt Show. It's great to have you on for the first time.
Well, sir, thank you very much. It's great to be on.
General, full disclosure, I didn't think he could win, and I told people that over and over again. I was for Chuck Morris in the primary, and then Cotton slapped me around a little bit and said, this general's going to win. And then Rick Scott said they're pouring money in New Hampshire. What happened?
Well, it's called hard work. It's called perseverance. It's called never quitting. And that's the kind of campaign that we ran. And we're running now.
You've got my voice. I just got over that. Whenever you go out and do 5, 6, 7 events a day, you get the voice. So we'll slow down and give you the chance. Take your time. Tell people about yourself, because if anyone's listening in New Hampshire, General Bolduc's going to make a great senator. Well,
I feel that my whole life has been centered around public service, whether it was, working on our family farm as a farmer and providing public service of food and dairy products and other things to our community, or a police officer in Laconia, or a 33-plus year career in the military, going from private to general. My whole life has been oriented on serving others, and I have proved that, and I want to take this opportunity to serve my country and my state and Granite Staters in a different way. This is about an outsider versus a career politician, someone who will be accessible versus someone who's inaccessible. And I will work for you, not special interests, not lobbyists, not the wealthy political elite, because I'm not connected to any of them. I don't take their money. And I have been campaigning for 2 years in this state, every town and city, averaging 4 to 5 events a day. And my opponent has been hiding. And today we'll have a debate, but that debate is completely controlled by her. The 45 people supporting her will be massed in the audience, and it will be one of these events that is protected from the inside and outside, so she doesn't have to answer tough questions about what she's done to Granite Staters, inflation, education, and forcing people to choose between heating and eating. I will go there to serve you. I will be your ambassador and conduit. And I think I've proven that to Granite Staters, and most importantly, to people that I'm going to have to work with in Washington, D.C. to get things done.
General Bolduc, I just was reading what John Ellis sent me. 41% of American families cannot make their budget. They're not able to provide food for the family, clothing for the kids, shoes for the soccer games. I don't know what kind of Maggie Hassan bodyguards are around her and how they've surrounded the debate, but facts are stubborn things. Isn't that what people are talking about, the price of gas and food?
Yes, everybody's talking about it except for Senator Hassan. She avoids the subject at all costs. Yesterday she precluded New Hampshire Journal, Michael Graham from being at a press conference. And he is press. They let everybody else in that was going to write positive things about her, or, were, in her camp, but not, other news outlets. I mean, this is what is being done. Hiding the truth from Granite Staters, avoiding the hard facts that Americans and Granite Staters are hurting in every way. Moms and dads making choices about eating and heating, eating less so their kids can eat more, skipping meals so their kids can have 3 meals. Our education system is a complete disaster, and she receives the second highest amount of money from the teachers union. Everything that she's done, whether it is voting with Joe Biden 100% on failed energy policies, to spending $5.2 trillion and adding to the debt between March and August of this year, and then voting against common sense bills placed on the table in Washington, D.C., in August that would increase oil production, that would remove the 87,000 IRS agents and the $80 billion and invest that in the border and in the Border Patrol on that border, securing both our southern and northern borders and other ports of entry, and protecting our children from this opioid crisis, human trafficking, and illicit weapons trafficking. Everything she does is a disaster, and she has failed to account for it. And she does that by hiding and controlling every single public event. I bring Tulsi Gabbard to the state. I bring Nikki Haley to the state. She brings Cory Booker, someone who votes with her 100% of the time and has put Granite Staters in peril, and particularly our children.
General, if I had a bingo card for the debate tonight, I would have her card covered with, she's going to say, election denier 100 times. The interesting thing is, every time she says that, she's going to lose ground. She doesn't know that. But every time, people are sick of this stuff. They want to talk about inflation. She's an inflation denier. She's a teachers union denier. She's an energy crisis denier. She's a border denier. She's an opioid denier. And so what are you going to do when she says, Don, you're an election denier?
Well, quite frankly, I'm just going to completely avoid it and go right into what you just said. Being an election denier or being accused of being an election denier is not what Granite Staters are thinking about, and she would know that if she got out on the ground. And she's not on the ground. And she thinks that people are going to take that to the ballot box, and they're not. They're going to sit in the ballot box, they're going to look at that ballot, and they're going to go, my children, my livelihood, our future, our education, eating versus eating. All of this is going to double. And they're going to circle and fill in Don Bolduc's name because they're going to realize at that moment that she is not going to fight for these things, that she is going to maintain the status quo, and she is going to support special interests and lobbyists and political wealthy that drive a different agenda that hurts us. And they will see that once, they're going to go in there and they're going to vote, and they're going to vote for their family. They're going to vote for their children. They're going to vote for their grandchildren. And she has absolutely no record of supporting that. During COVID, she locked us down. She masked our children. She closed our places of worship. She closed our education. She is a proponent of vaccinating our children from 6 months old and up to go to school. Everything she has done during COVID, she hid from us, and she didn't help us. And then she rolled right into 2 years of Joe Biden, 100% support for him, that resulted in historic inflation and moms and dads choosing between heating and eating, and all that is going to get worse. And worst of all, she takes measures like promoting the strategic reserve and using that as a Band-Aid for what is a compound fracture in this country. I mean, the bone is through the skin, and she wants to put a Scooby-Doo Band-Aid on it, and it's not going to work.
General, I know that after she's done calling you an election denier, and I hope you call her an inflation denier, she's going to intend to abortion and say that you want to ban abortion. That's also a lie. I know you'll say it's a lie. But are you going to make the argument that, look, I believe in people's making decisions for themselves, and New Hampshire's believe in that. How are you going to respond when she lies about what you believe about abortion?
Well, like I've responded since the beginning. I don't support a federal ban. I support New Hampshire's law. I put my trust in the governor and the legislature to do the right thing for Granite Staters. And she is the one that, is on the wrong side of this issue with Granite Staters, in that, she doesn't recognize that it's a state issue now. She doesn't recognize New Hampshire's law. And, oh, by the way, she supports abortion all the way up to the time of birth, which is not consistent with majority of Granite Staters. So, she's the one that is on the wrong side of this issue, and I said this time and time again. But I'm not the one with $30 million, to lie about abortion, Social Security, and Medicare. She has that money, and she has that ability. I can only go out on the ground every single day and work hard to enlighten people on the truth. That's why I need people to go to DonBolduc.com and help me out any way they can. If they can do that, we can counter her lies, because they're outright lies. And I'm just going to call it what it is. It's a lie. You got this wrong. stop doing it. I've done it before. She fails to listen because she doesn't listen to Granite State.
I am going to get most of the audio of this debate and play it tomorrow, but I do want to make sure I close by letting people know. I want to thank you for your life of service. You're a Mustang. I mean, you began as an enlisted man, you rose to sergeant, you became a commissioned officer, and you ended up being the head of Special Forces Africa Command. And what Cotton told me about your military record, I had no idea. And I appreciate all the years you spent defending me and my family, and I hope Granite Staters do. I know it's got a fine, proud tradition of producing warriors out of New Hampshire, but I had no idea, and I hope they have a chance to tell. But let's close with the media. You saw the Fetterman inflection on Tuesday night, the great exposure of John Fetterman. Is anyone going to ask her a tough question at all? I mean, it's softball. It's patty cake with Maggie Hassan.
She's not going to get asked a tough question. She's in a debate that's been completely rigged for her benefit with the audience, most likely with the questions. I'm just going to call it as it is. But unlike her, I have the guts to show up and say, hey, listen, what is being said here, what she is saying, what she is doing, what she has done, how she has served is not consistent with the type of representatives we need in Washington, D.C. It is hurting us across the board in every area that counts, and it's really about our children and grandchildren. And so I'm going to be there, despite the fact that this is something that has been arranged for her benefit, but she is on the wrong side of this, and even arranging it for her benefit is going to fail because I'm going to take it to her. I don't have to recognize the question if it is one of these questions that is just senseless. I will go directly to her and make her account for what she's done to Granite Staters. So, bring it on is what I say. And I'm a general. I grew up fighting my way, to be successful and to serve others. I've been in combat. I've been out there. I know what it's like, and I will take the fight to Maggie Hassan on that debate stage today, even if she has tried to stack the deck in her favor all the way around.
General Bolduc, thank you for coming on. I'll do the post-game report tomorrow and let everyone know how it goes. I have great confidence in you, and I appreciate your coming on. Good luck in the closing kick. You've closed to a dead heat. I think New Hampshire's going to make a change. General Don Bolduc, thank you. DonBolduc.com. DonBolduc.com. BOLDUC. DonBolduc. Help him out. DonBolduc.com.